So, Jerry?
Okay, on December 28th, I concurred with the Newberry Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on a liquor license being requested by Pizzeria Management 3 LLC, doing business as Zeppi's Tavern and Pizzeria of Newberry, located at 1110 Kingsman Road, Unit 3, and Patio, Newberry, Ohio.
Okay.
Morning.
Good.
So before the financials, we have one item. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the encumbrances to be considered by the Board of Commissioners to be effective January 1st, 2024.
Okay.
And there's 3 encumbrances in here from DES that we had to pull off from the edit list that I sent to you last night because they were unable to resolve an issue with those. They're hoping to get those resubmitted for the 8th. So we'll probably need to do a similar
What department was that?
DES.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, they were over encumbered on one of their expense accounts.
Okay.
Okay, so moved.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay, and then today's financials include appropriations transfers from the Common Police Court to prepare for cash transfers to their new Community Corrections Fund, and supplemental appropriations in the Building Improvement Fund, Commissioner's Capital Reserve 2019, and Commissioner's Capital Reserve Phase 2 2021, and a supplemental de-appropriation from the Common Police Court in the Automated Outbound Text Message Fund as it was over appropriated. Among the encumbrances are all the contracts, blankets, and purchase orders from various departments for the new year, including travel requests from the Clerk of Courts to attend the monthly Ohio Clerk of Courts Association meetings, and from the Commissioners to attend the 2024 Ohio Fair Managers Convention, and also a revenue certification from the Commissioners in the Capital Reserve Fund Phase 2 2021 for additional intergovernmental revenue that we are expecting to receive this year from Chardon for the courthouse expansion project.
Okay, so moved.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And when do you expect that to occur?
I think what it's going to end up actually being is more of a reimbursement.
As invoices start coming in?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As theirs covers more of the site work and different things like that, so probably once we start getting the GMP number 2 invoices in,
Okay.
we'll have a lot of that to charge them. And they're responsible for 10% up to a maximum of $2 million.
Correct. Okay.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adrian.
Okay, and then kind of house cleaning for change of rate from on the IRS reflection on mileage to 0.67.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Oh, 1.5 cents.
1.5 cents, but guess what down?
Oh, 1.5.
Till November, right? All right. So we've got the airport authority. Morning, Rick.
Morning.
How are you?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Happy New Year.
Good. President Ralph.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
So here we are at Hangar 1 refurb again.
Okay.
Asking to grant permission to advertise for bids for the Hangar 1 improvements to be held Wednesday, February 7th at 2 p.m. Notice of the bid will be advertised on January 11th and 18th and on the county website, if possible on our website as well.
Okay, excellent.
So real quick, so this would be the medevac hangar for
Yes.
like the insulation and the...
Yeah, the new roof,
and all that.
insulation, heat, and a new
Yep.
door.
And you feel pretty confident as getting some bids?
I think now, when we bid it in the fall, it was late in the season, and
Yep.
we had a really tight schedule, and I don't think anybody had time on their schedule to do it. I think we're getting in early enough now that it should be.
Yeah. Get it lined up.
And this is to help medevac, so they'll have heat and be able to work in the winter and keep their stuff
Correct.
warm. And
Yes.
Right now, they've just been working out of,
Out of an uninsulated hangar
cold
using
garage. Yeah.
torpedo heaters.
That's our local life flight here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a good investment, and hopefully we'll get, I'm happy to see this get out to bid and get out to bid quickly so we can get this ball rolling.
We'd like to see it done
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, very good. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Morning.
Good morning.
I have 3 contracts this morning for the new year. One is our senior center lease at the Village of Middlefield for our Middlefield Senior Center. It's a 1-year lease. The rate did not change from our previous year. The second is our contract with the Bainbridge Community United Church of Christ for our Bainbridge Senior Center. It did increase slightly. $91.50 per month was the increase. We have a 1-year lease with them. And lastly, we have a contract before you for 2 years for a legal services agreement with Sheriff Thomas. That is for elder care services for the Geauga County seniors. They do living wills, power of attorneys. It is not for our agency's legal services. It is a service to the seniors of Geauga County.
Yep.
Very good. I'll make a motion on 6, 7, and 8.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Yes. Thank you.
What's up, Dan?
Good morning.
Hi, Dan.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
You too.
Here for 2 items. The first one is asking, requesting unpaid leave for our inspector, Mike Babbitt. He's on probation in his first year of employment. He needed to take some time off to deal with some family matters.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Hi.
And then the second request is asking for permission to advertise for a statement of qualifications for our master plans examiners. These are the guys that we send all our commercial plans to that review the plans, do the plans examinations for us. We've been doing 2-year contracts with them, so we've been under 2-year contracts. We've put out for advertisement. We had, this past year, we had 5 guys, or 5 companies under contract, so we're looking to get about that same number to continue forward.
Excellent. Okay, great. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Hi.
Thank you.
Dan.
Have a good one.
Good day.
Morning. Morning, Glenn. Hey, Glenn.
Number 11 is for, in case we get any bills that come in late, so that, for our gas, electric, so we don't get late charges or anything like this, so that we can go ahead and do it. We've done this in the last previous years,
Okay.
and it just saves so much time.
Okay. Okay.
Second.
Yep.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Hi.
Number 12 is to going forward, foreseen items. Lauren has requested resignation.
That was our contract coordinator? Okay. That's too bad. She's doing a good job. Are you going to look to fill that position?
We're looking at that.
Okay.
We're going through and studying it and making sure.
Unfortunately, not to get into detail, but I mean, do you think it was, had anything to do with compensation at all, or was
No.
it? No.
No.
Okay.
No, it was not.
Okay. Okay. All right. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Hi.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Glenn. Good morning.
I've got 13 and 14. The first one, we are requesting to approve and execute service contract agreement with Geauga Mechanical to install 2 hanging heaters in the county maintenance barn. That'll be not exceeding $20,000.
Okay. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Hi.
Alright, and the second one, we are requesting you approve and execute a contract with Geauga Mechanical to install a mini split air conditioning system in the server room at the annex building. That's not to exceed $15,000.
Where's that going?
In the server room,
Okay.
I believe the second floor up there, they've got a window unit right now that's freezing up. So we're trying to get its own dedicated system in there.
So let me ask you something. How's that, going correlating with what we've got here? Is it something that's in addition to what we moved down here?
It's part of the overall system.
Okay.
Not everything's moved down here. There's still stuff that's up there that deals with some of the courts and
Okay.
as well as the offices in those buildings.
So it's just straight air conditioning, is it, or is this some kind of specialized cooling for
No, it's just-
equipment?
This is just, well, it's cooling for the equipment because it's keeping the room cool.
Okay.
So it's-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so moved.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year.
Morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, good.
Just one item this week. Water Resources is requesting that you approve and execute the Buckeye Power Sales Contract. They do generator services and repairs for us as needed at wastewater locations for 1 year effective January 4th in a not to exceed $15,000.
Great, just general maintenance.
It's when we need, a generator goes down, we need repairs, we need help, we can call them out.
Very good. Okay, so moved.
Okay, second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great, great, thanks. I'm Gary Summers with Sherpa Development Company.
Yeah.
And we have a petition to annex property to the village of Middlefield
Okay.
for a development that we're
So your
doing.
position before, so your name is again?
Gary Summers.
Okay.
I'm a managing member of Sherpa Development Company.
Okay.
Yes, I've been reading your emails the last couple of days.
Okay.
The track record here, so. Maybe you can fill us in just a little bit on what the idea is here.
So we,
So, I'm sorry,
Sure.
can you hold on one second? Just before you get started, per our attorney, I need to swear you in since you're providing testimony for our annexation.
okay,
Sorry about that.
all right.
So you raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth and anything that yeah, I'm sorry. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as far as you know during this testimony.
Yeah, I do.
Great, thanks. So,
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Sherpa Development Company is one of the entities that we have within HRM Enterprises. HRM Enterprises has a number of operating companies based in Stark County. And a few years back, we acquired a lumberyard and hardware store from Centera Co-op in Middlefield, in the village of Middlefield, and it's been doing really well. And so we're looking to make an investment into the Middlefield community. We're looking at about 160,000 square feet or so under roof for a new retail hardware store and lumberyard. That will include a drive-through facility for lumber.
so will the current place close and move to the new one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
plan, and then we'll be looking to.
So
sell
explain,
that.
I was trying to figure it out on the map there a little bit. I'm familiar with Middlefield, but where would this, where are you moving to?
So this is on Kinsman.
Yeah.
It'd be west of Middlefield,
Almost
and
across
almost
the
near the Giant Eagle.
Where she used to-
Oh, okay.
Right next
Yep.
to the Geauga Self-Storage.
Yep.
There on the corner of Terra Creek and.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that will, how many parcels are there that you're looking to annex in?
And there's two parcels, it's about 25,
Okay,
just over 25 acres.
yep,
And, yeah, primarily we'll help out with some of the necessary utilities required for.
right. And, you know, we've had a couple of these in the past, these annexations, and sometimes they haven't gone as smoothly as it sounds, maybe as yours is. It sounds like there's cooperation between all the parties here.
Yeah, it's been an
Okay.
excellent process, a little bit of a learning process to get through the appropriate steps, but there haven't been any hiccups along the way.
So as far as the parcel, so is it Middlefield Village all the way up to your parcel? Or is it just going to be basically a chunked piece out of that?
No, it is contiguous on the, I'm not sure if the actual self-storage right on the corner is
Okay.
Middlefield Village, but the parcel directly behind it was owned by the village, and that butts up to it.
Does.
And then we also have access, secured access drive, another parcel that's currently in the village to Terra Creek.
Okay.
Great.
So there'll be, so the purpose of this is more for utilities than anything else?
Yeah, getting sewer and water access for
Okay.
for the development.
And how is that gonna also, because obviously there's I'm very familiar with that, and I've had a number of residents that have actually reached out to me regarding that. They just, are looking at, just a continuing development of Middlefield, and I understand, it's good to have some growth and to bring some jobs and services to that, and I think that what you guys do is do a great job already in Middlefield now, so it's just, I would think that it would only continue to improve. But with that being said, what else can we win for some of those residents that are there as far as some of those utilities? Will they be able to have connection then to some of that stuff that are real close to that?
My understanding is that you have to be annexed to the village in order to participate in the sewer and water.
Okay. So what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see a map, just the way that parcel sits, and what's around it, because if it's kind of on its own island alone, we need to try to make some kind of a compromise for those, if it does affect anybody in route to your location, to try to just be neighborly more than anything, but I think that we just kind of started to look at this, and your expected time of construction is when?
We hope to break ground in the spring.
Spring, okay.
Yeah, and this sounds like real quick, what's the parcel zone now that you're looking at?
I'm not sure that there's any zoning in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I believe it's planning on coming in as general business.
Gotcha, okay. What I think what Ralph's kind of touching on also is, there's been other instances where these annexations have happened, and it's been very disruptive to the neighbors as far as the types of businesses that have gone in there. There's been maybe certain, I don't want to say undesirable, but businesses that maybe shouldn't be right next to a residential neighborhood or something along those lines. I think, just jogging out of my memory, your piece is not near any residential, I don't think.
There's a property owner directly to the west. There's a they have I believe 40 acres or so.
Okay.
But their property or their home is right in the front.
Okay.
And their driveway is actually partially on our property. So they were aware of that.
And they've been notified of this as well?
They have. We're having some conversations. We want to be neighborly and try to put something out there.
Okay.
That can maybe provide an easement for them, as long as we are able to get our driveway out.
Sure.
Out there as well.
Okay, good. And so, just to be clear, the mayor in Middlefield, I'm sounding like he's supportive of this.
He is.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
When you ask for a map, I mean, you want...
Yeah, I'm looking at one actually right now, so
Okay.
yep, that answers the questions. Yep. Okay. So the two parcels, you would basically have the small parcel that's in the middle, and then the larger parcel that surrounds it, correct? So
Right.
Just looking at this here, so it would be this parcel and then all of this around it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that middle one was originally intended for,
Okay.
or how it is. I do have a working copy of a site plan.
Yeah.
Is
that like, what did they have like a barn or something there?
There's a barn with a veterinary clinic on it.
Yep.
The houses that are on our property and other buildings are in the process of coming down.
Okay.
And that barn and veterinary clinic will come down as well.
Okay.
There's quite a bit of excavation that will need to take place.
And I think to kind of reiterate what Commissioner Lennon is saying too is that, and I'll just be pretty much frank with this, is that we had an annexation that happened at 528 and 87, and we had, all the conversations was that annexation where the marijuana producing facility was going to be stuck all the way in the back. And our phones never stopped ringing when it became right on 528, right next to, a longtime resident. And we've heard nothing but,
and there's obviously the odor that went along with it, and and I think if I remember clearly, like, you know, it was very vague as to far as
Right.
what type of business was actually going in there.
Mhm.
And then we found out kind of after the fact, you know, and there was a lot of disruption. You know, residents were very upset and angry, which I would be too. If a meteor landed on my front porch, you know, I'd be like, what is this, you know?
And there was some, I personally visited the site a couple times, and the odor was pretty strong.
You know, I mean, they got, it looks like a prison or something with the barbed wire going around.
Right.
You know, it's just not great.
So that was, and I, you know, and I don't think that this necessarily applies to you guys, but I'm just saying that that was a kind of an eye-opener for us to just ask more questions, because we've had a multitude of, you know, of this happening, and then this one here kind of left a bad taste in our mouth, because we would have probably gone a different direction or put some kind of stipulation in it, because we were totally surprised by it also. And I guess I put myself in that homeowner's shoes. You know, all of a sudden you have a lifetime residence there, and next door you're basically smell marijuana all the time. That it was troubling.
I believe that this must be a property that Geauga County is
Sounds
going
like
to be
it.
proud of.
Yeah.
If you've been to any of our other.
Yeah, I've been through
facilities.
Hartville
You guys
store,
do a
and it's a
great
class
job.
operation. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's nice.
is it, you know, for a property owner that's used to, you know, a field,
Right.
a farm field next
Sure.
door, it won't be a farm field next door.
No, we understand.
Right.
No,
yeah.
good. Well, we appreciate you being proactive with us and providing us as much information as you can. And, you know, if there's anything else we can help assist with, but, you know, I feel comfortable moving forward with this today, so.
Yep,
Good.
same here.
Thanks.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. All right.
There is one other question that needs to be answered, just for the record. You signed the petition on the 19th, correct?
On December 19th, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you did receive certification from the Village of Middlefield. Do
I-
you have the original?
I did, but it's not the original. This was-
Okay, I have one as well. We got it
Yeah.
from the email. So statutorily, procedurally, so just a minor defect if you're willing to,
Okay.
on the basis. But it's an expedited annexation.
Because all the parties are in agreement.
Correct. So
Okay.
there's no hearing, there's no, none of that.
Good. Do we, so we need a motion?
So the first item is to request the board formally acknowledge receipt of the petition for annexation with consent of all parties pursuant to RC 709.21, 709.022, filed by Jamie R. Minor, Esquire, attorney for the petitioner, on December 29, 2023, for the annexation of territory owned by Sherpa Development Company, LLC, to the Village of Middlefield, parcel numbers 18-084600 and 18-084900, and enter the petition upon the journal of the board.
Okay, so move.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And then the next action is to request the board approve and execute resolution 24-002 to grant the petition of Sherpa Development Company, LLC, for the annexation of permanent parcels 18-084600 and 18-084900, currently located in Middlefield Township, to the Village of Middlefield pursuant to RC 709.021 and 709.022.
Okay, so move.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a great one.
Yep.
Yep.
I do not.
Sir?
I have,
Oh,
sir? I have
Let's see if he's got,
Oh, here.
contact
do you have like a business card or something she could put with the,
I don't.
you don't?
I'm like, I don't,
I think we got his email, or
Yeah.
I have it.
No problem.
I think it's all in I think it was in all of the paperwork that I sent.
Okay.
I think
If
I
not,
can see
I
it.
think it's
Be
in.
happy to
Yeah.
send something.
No, that'll be fine.
Blair.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, question, sir. Again, can I get the spelling of your name?
Yes.
Surname?
Yes, Gary, Gary, Summers, SOMMERS.
And the middle, the parcel that you referenced, that wasn't the Countryside Veterinary.
I
Was
think
it?
it's Maple Leaf Veterinary. but-
Maple Leaf Veterinary, small animal vet.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know if there's small ones. I'm not exactly sure what they do.
okay.
Great, thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Yep, take care.
Have a good day.
Yep.
The next item deals with our bond council, Squire Patton and Boggs, just an engagement letter for 2024 for them to provide us the legal counsel and the information for our annual reporting for the bond for this bill.
Okay, so moved.
Second?
Mr. Schilling?
Aye.
Mr. Spiller?
Aye. Okay, next will be the airport again.
Back again.
We are. Starting to feel like a yo-yo.
So
Every
this
day.
here is going to be, commissioners are going to be agreeing to submit a transfer of $20,000 to the airport commission for purposes of expenses and ancillary expenses that the airport does, just to try to assist you guys in getting more stuff accomplished there, and truly appreciate the job you're doing. It's been a huge improvement of what is going on there. It's been fun to watch, to be honest with you. So it's
Fun to be part of.
yeah.
We're grateful for your help through all this the last
Yeah.
couple of years.
Yeah, no, we've got a great partnership with you guys, and it's been, and the airport definitely shows. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, I've always said, coming in, when I first got here, it was a little, there were things that need to be maybe corrected. There was improvements that everyone knew need to be made. And it's easy to talk about the changes that need to be made, but you guys actually have grabbed this thing by the collar and really moved the airport forward in leaps and bounds, in my opinion. And what I think this board has always said is to be supportive of that, and we're always willing to, you know, say invest in that with a solid plan, and that's what Rick and the board and Chip and Chris and all the new and past board members have done, is provided a good solid plan moving forward. So it makes our job, I believe, a lot easier to invest in that, to see the return back, you know.
Yeah, our main goal in management is improving the economic impact of the airport upon the county.
Yeah.
And returning some of our federal tax dollars back to the county as
Yeah,
well.
and that's another thing. I mean, that's a no-brainer, that
5%.
taking advantage of that 5%, you know, match has been a godsend for this airport, and I'm sure others. But you know, the thing that I think is unique about Geauga County Airport is that the way you've really became almost self-sustaining, and that you're being able now to generate your own revenue, you know, and that's what I think is important to point out, is that it hasn't become reliant on the tax dollars for its operation. You've come up with different avenues to generate revenue, so I think that to me has been the most impressive thing.
And from what we've heard, we're the only county airport that is self-sustaining in that manner. In all of Northeast Ohio and beyond.
So,
well, and above all of those things too, is how much safer it has made the airport. You know, with the improvements that have happened, from the silo to the airport lighting to now the, you know, taxiway to
new hangars.
It's you know, everything is, you know, the weather station that you put in. So there's just a lot of good things, and you know, kudos to you guys. Truly, this has been a huge leap forward, and we appreciate it. And you guys are committed, you know. And here's the thing is, you know, you guys are doing this for free, right?
We're volunteers.
And that's the big thing that's impressive. I always say that when I come to the board meetings, you know, it's like you have full participation, and it's really neat to see that everybody's working on this.
Very good board, you know, probably one, if not the best around here. And again, you know, I think it's important, you know, from just listening to that business that's coming into Middlefield now, you know, I think we're starting, and I've actually talked to businesses that are, say, in Lake County, or, you know, keep their aircraft at Lost Nation, for example, or Cuyahoga County, which is like double or triple the price of Geauga County, I think, to store your aircraft. but they're taking a look at Geauga County as a place to not only call home, but to operate their businesses and to keep their aircraft right here. And and a lot of them are running their companies with these aircraft, so.
And we're seeing an uptick in the business aircraft flying in. Not quite daily, but frequently.
Yeah, and the fuel thing has been brilliant. You know, I think putting that, you know, getting the credit card access set up. I know that sounds simple, but it was kind of a major deal getting that going. And, so there's just been one after another different instances that we can point out that have really, you know, been a huge bonus for not only airport but for Geauga County. I think it, you know, it attracts a lot of different things to Geauga County, having a good functioning airport like that. So
we had a guest speaker yesterday at our annual planning meeting, Dr. Michael Jones, who has a PhD in, or wrote his PhD in small airport management, and his comment was, of the 236 airports that he looked at for his research, what he saw happening here was far and above beyond any of those. He says one of the best run airports that he's come across.
Yeah. And
he's looked at a lot of them.
Yeah, and I think, again, there's tons of potential for the future too, you know, for expansion there. You know, we've made some pretty bold moves. You have your board in purchasing surrounding property, so we can expand now into the future. And, you know, if we possibly could lengthen that runway, that would be a whole nother, bring in a whole nother spectrum there. So there's, you know, it's positioned for the future. You guys have done a great job, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have done it without your support.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it. This is a partnership here that is definitely a win-win everywhere. So.
And I have a question about this. Is this an ongoing?
So we did it for this year, and then I think we will probably review it for next year.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
You know, as your leases come up back online, you know, especially if you're going to, you know, I know you were sold out pretty much immediately, right, for hangar space.
Yes.
You know, in contemplating that expansion of future hangar spaces,
Right.
you know, this is kind of that, I guess you want to call it like seed money, so you can go ahead and begin that process of, say, hangar, you know, phase 2 or whatever that's going to be. You know, because it's going to take some investment to get that going. But again, it comes back tenfold in my opinion. So I think it's a good investment.
And I think to add to that also is I've had a conversation with, you know, with Chris and also with Chip regarding, you know, the fact that some of this administratively will be utilized. And I know on this here, we were able to have enough where we had the ability of also accomplishing some of the other things that we had on the checklist, and then also being able to cover some administrative things. That I think that would be something that we would definitely look at to be able to work with you guys on that moving forward too. So that it's not something that has to all come out of that, and because there's a huge savings to the county of how the employment positioning is down at the airport, that saves the county a lot more than, say, $20,000 a year. That makes it just, you know, conducive for us to just look at this again next year and moving forward.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good, great. Thank you guys.
Thanks again for
I appreciate
everything you do. And
looking forward to see what's
give us.
happening. Yep. Should be a busy spring and summer for you
Yes,
guys.
it will be.
The taxiway, that's going to be a big project. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just every year try to, you know, get that flywheel moving and go take on more projects and expand it.
It's awesome.
At an increasing rate. So
Appreciate it. Yep, and again, the life flight thing we just talked about earlier, that's extremely important and vital to this. You know, they can go anywhere they want. They don't have to be in Geauga County. You know, they could be something. So for Geauga County to have that right in our backyard, obviously that is a huge advantage in case of emergency. You know, they're not flying from Summit County or from Cuyahoga or somewhere else, right, to get here. They're right here. So it's a great partnership with University Hospitals and making sure that continues. And that's #1. So thank you guys.
thank you.
Just need a motion on this,
So moved.
and I'll second that.
All right.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye. Yep, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right.
next item deals with ARPA funds, and requesting the Commissioners approve and execute Resolution 24-004, approving ARPA funds to be utilized for the Water Resources McFarland wastewater treatment plant upgrades in the amount of $5 million.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Arnold?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great. How are you, Mr. Cunningham? Good.
Hello. Hello.
See ya.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Yep, bet. All right, so where do we begin here?
You tell us. Jack Cunningham, if you don't know, Superintendent of Parker Local Schools. This is Keith Marsh from Apex, or A Plus Education, and we are partnering for a community school here in Geauga County that deals specifically with agricultural aviation technology. So we were approved by that earlier in the month of December, signed our contract to operate that school beginning in the fall of 2024. So we are coming for some funding to get started, get some things set up, some structural things set up for us to get started in enrolling kids and setting our infrastructure.
Okay. So I know that, I had sat down with you, a couple months back and, discussed this in some length, but I guess to just, if you can just explain a little bit about the program and the day that, we sat down and discussed this in great length, seemed like there was no negatives, and it's just a win for our kids in the county here. But if you can just kind of relate to some of the things that you guys do.
Yeah. So the design of the school is to be a career pathway program, specifically getting kids into the school to get them introduced to different industries in the county, and then to get them working towards their credentials that they need to graduate from Ohio schools. And then in their junior and senior year, we're partnering with businesses where that student will go and work within that industry, get more additional training, to where they have the opportunity to either, if they want to continue on to a four-year college, they can do that two-year college technical school, or they go right into the workforce with the high-skilled credentialing certifications, so they're just not walking into a run-of-the-mill type of job. So the ideal, and then we're working with the airport to start an aviation flight school there as well.
Geauga County's airport.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And we've met with Richard in the past to talk about the ideal, and he's going to be an integral part of developing an aviation school. One of my goals is to model it off the aviation school up in Michigan. That's a community school, charter school up there. But it provides an opportunity for kids to remain in the county and be employed in a high school paying job. So it kind of fits into the governor's workforce development plan. The Ohio Department of Education, we went with them as our sponsor because of the credibility within that program. And I was pleased to learn through that process that our application was #1 on their books as far as all the new schools coming in because of the idea of the career pathway program and what it'll do for students to help put them in a position to when they graduate, again, they're either going into a high school paying job here in the county, or they have the opportunity to go on to higher education. So that's kind of the gist of the program.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I wanted to add, so, Cardinal's part, what makes it unique compared to other community schools or charter schools is the partnership with the local district. So it's a great opportunity for the kids in Geauga County, especially those kids that are interested in agricultural or ag business or anything that reflects that way. And my goal, even at Cardinal, for all of our kids is to get a high-quality education, which you do in Geauga County no matter where you go, but also to be specific about if you are interested in something like agricultural that way, that you're going to get those skills, credentials, certifications before you leave, and we'll be working with businesses that they're going to get to know those kids in that program, build relationships, and also become employable to them, which is our #1 goal. Population's a big thing across the state of Ohio, across the country. we want population to stay here in Geauga County, especially with our kids that are going through this place.
And I think that it's kind of full circle too with the, like our, our OSU, extension for the 4-H stuff that, and maybe you can even speak on that a little bit more back there, but it's just, it's a complete circle here, with all of our kids that are involved in 4-H. That program continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And, I just think that there is, direction that, there's a lot of homeschooling also that's going on now in our county that a lot of the parents have taken a position that they don't necessarily, feel that some of the things that they're seeing on the education side, but in this here, and I've talked to a number of people, since talking to you that actually do homeschool, that said this raises a whole different level of professionalism of something that they feel is going to establish some learning credentials that they actually can use in a day-to-day basis of what their kids would potentially have an interest in.
Now, let me speak to, because I know Keith, or he might want to, I'm always talking over him, so as you know, I do it all the time. But I know the school is going to probably most likely start a FFA chapter for the school, so the kids will be part of that, and the ACE Academy. And if you look, I can only speak to what Cardinal community looks like and kids look like, and when we survey kids and parents, there's a huge interest in agriculture. And kids want to know that. So, and if you look at
number one in Geauga County.
Number one. And if you look at the county, the great Geauga County Fair, the number of participants of kids that are working in that fair, showing animals, there's a huge interest. Sometimes we don't take enough pride in that. I don't think we do at Cardinal about those interests of our kids. This is an opportunity for us to let them, aspire to do what they're passionate about.
So, and just to piggyback, so FFA is going to be a big part of this program because it leads to a lot of career opportunities and develops leaderships within kids. The homeschool side of it, I've had a lot of experience. I've worked with homeschool programs with other schools I've been associated and started because they see the connections, and our program can fit into what they do as a homeschool with their co-op programs. So it's very critical. And agriculture in itself leads to different careers. So a lot of people don't really understand that agriculture is a tentacle to biomedicine, entrepreneurship, into the sciences, all those types of fields. So you don't necessarily, people may think when you're doing an agricultural study program, you're going into farming, right? It's a lot, aviation is a big part of in us developing our drone program. Kids get Part 107 certifications. They can go out and then, in a career in drones in itself. So, a school that I started in Indiana that's similar to what we're going to start here fits into what this community is about. The purpose of working with the school district was that partnership. So I've been involved with other programs where it's a standalone community school. I just really saw the importance of really connecting with a school district to create those resources and connections to the community. So it makes for a great, situation to where you're not fighting against each other or trying to create opportunities for kids. You're working together to lay out this opportunity for careers. So it was important to do that.
I certainly am interested and like the sound of it. From the standpoint, as commissioners, we don't get involved in education very much or very often here, or in any funding ways, that's for sure. But we certainly do in economic development. We just got done listening about the airport and many others that we're always seeking out to try and find better avenues to, again, invest back into the community. I like the sound of this from the standpoint that this is an investment not only into the education but into economic development. And really, I think that with the way things have been changing in education, I think this is going to be, people are asking for more avenues, not just, going to four-year colleges and such. But, and again, agricultural, it's that industry sounds like we're just, maybe planting a field of corn. That's not, there's so much more that goes into it, the sciences and industry and manufacturing and all the support ancillary businesses that go with it. So I love the sound of it. Not from it's called ACE Academy.
Right.
Okay.
Agricultural Career Education.
Okay. Okay. And then how far along are you in this process of getting this established? So you have an application into the state of Ohio?
We're approved.
Approved.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's happening.
We're happening,
Yeah.
we're ready to,
Okay.
we're working through details now.
Yep.
We're getting ready to start enrollment probably in March for kids that want to enroll.
Yep.
And the plan is for us to be open in August or September, probably after Labor Day because of the Great Fair. So we
Awesome.
want kids to be able to do that.
So Cardinal School is the epicenter, right, of agriculture?
Cardinal is the partner, the epicenter is ACE, we're just partnering.
But I mean,
providing
as
stuff.
far as in the county, Cardinal is the epicenter of agricultural. And I just was curious, other kids, can they come enroll from other school districts
Yes.
into it?
Open to any student in Geauga County, actually and anybody from Ohio.
Oh, good. Anyone, okay.
Yeah, so that's great. Or anywhere. But they have to come. It's not a online. They
Yeah.
have to come. So you can come from wherever you want. If you want to be part of that and get an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And then, Gina, do you want to explain the community economic development?
Sure,
side
I
of
think
this?
Mr. Lennon touched on it, and I think it's such a great tie-in today. And I've been very honored and super excited to be able to be a part of this. I did attend a board meeting. Obviously, a board has been formed to represent the entity, obviously being ACE. Again, it is a hub at Cardinal Schools. I think the resource of tying that in is incredible. My opinion on the economic development side of it, it's unmeasurable to be able to look at the ultimate impact of what this does to our community, for our youth, for our families, and obviously tapping into the greatest resource we have, which is agriculture. And some of the learning that I was able to be a part of was understanding like the forestry aspect of what does this look like, and how can we tap into some of the larger companies that are players in our county for years and years and generations. And you know, who are some of these folks? Geauga Flooring. What kind of tie-in could that be? So I'm really excited to be able to get in front of these folks, these business owners and operators, work with this program. And again, today my role is, it's the fun part of my job is trying to get some seed money. And like any business, small, large, whatever, you have to start somewhere. So my ask is that we do allocate $100,000 of seed money to be able to move forward with the resolution here. Next housekeeping item. And again, just super honored to be a part of it.
Thank you, Gina.
You bet.
And then where the rest of the funding's coming from the state of Ohio?
Yeah, so funding does, you don't get funding in Ohio unless you have kids. You get funding at point. So right now we have no kids. So once our school opens and we have the assignment, then we'll start getting funding probably October, November from the state of Ohio that will fund and feed the program.
Okay. And then, so how would this work as far as, so the funding would come through our grant, for our economic development grants?
Yes.
Okay.
Based on the Ohio Revised Code, it certainly can come from the general funds via economic development. So therefore, the resolution was outlined to such.
Okay.
So, I mean, again, statistically, you know, they obviously have goals and will generate the resources they will need. I mean, I think hopefully I'm not misspeaking, but I think right off the gate is 75 students on an enrollment basis. I think the ultimate goal is 275. So 75 to me, that's a pretty aggressive. I think it's also obtainable. I really do. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to, I mean, a few people that I've talked to already regarding it, it's pretty interesting how the reactions are.
For sure.
And I see Linda Smallwood back there. Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You've been a long time board member of Cardinal Schools, correct? Yeah. And what I just, just thanks for coming in this morning, by the way.
Sure.
And I was just curious what your impression or any opinions or take is on it.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it'll add more to our career tech for our kids and the county kids. It's not just Middlefield, the Cardinal area that has agriculture. The western end has the horse farms and some pretty big farms also, kids that are interested in agriculture, and with the fair also. So we see a lot of kids. They're so, and it's like you said, 4-H is really catching on.
And if they
I'm
can,
excited about it. I think it's a great opportunity for the county children.
yeah, no, that's great. I think it's an avenue to take that love and joy and put it to work, you know, that's kind of neat, so.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of our goals.
Yeah.
There was another question that actually was brought up to me last week at the end of the commissioners meeting. As far as there, is it only going to be limited, and is there a possibility that there would be some classes also for later in life learning too, so that it's not somebody that's a 16-year-old or
Like
17-year-old?
an adult ed program, you can always expand to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our goal is to, yeah, anybody that wants to do that, we want to make sure. It's about passion, right? As educators, you're trying to find passion about kids making an impact. We want passionate kids to follow their dreams and their aspirations, so whatever we can do to do that. So adults as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the example that I would use for what you just asked was in Indiana, the school I started there along this same line, we get a lot of young people that are 20, because in Indiana you can still get dollars until they're 22. Not sure what it's like in Ohio, but we get a lot of kids that at that age that come to this school, to our school there, because they want a career, like they've been stuck or they got lost in the mix, and so they come to us kind of as young adults wanting to get their diploma and then get into a career pathway that we can get them to, and then they're on their way. So I think that point, as we build this school down the road, those are areas that we'd absolutely look at, because I think there's people out there that would jump on that.
Right, and sitting there, Mike Risch, he's the one that I had the conversation with.
I've got nothing at this point, Rob.
A lifelong educator, that's definitely, interested to learn more, to be able to, engage into to just supporting some of this stuff too. So it's really good.
Yeah, sure. And then as far as, not to get into the minutiae or details of it, but, and I guess we can maybe discuss this a little further, but as far as the funds, they're going, I would assume going to Cardinal School District, and that you're working.
It will go to the ACE Academy.
Right.
So it's its own entity to do that. So we're partnering with some services and doing some thing with Cardinal. That's what our part of that is in, but it's actually run by ACE with its own board and its own fiscal department and what they're doing with that. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely comfortable with, beginning the process of moving forward and facilitating that. I would just ask that we, just continue, just make sure, do a little research, make sure everything, I just want to make sure, not to knock your business or anything, but before we dole out $100,000, that it's all on, there's a contract, it's all in writing,
Yeah. OD has our signed contract. I think we sent it last week. So, and they're in control of everything. The OD, the High Department of Ed, their department there is in control of the entire district. So they're the sponsor of the school. They can shut it down, make you do things, don't like things,
Got you.
They control.
There's some
They're the
parameters.
control. Yes, absolutely. It's not a renegade type of thing. So everything goes through them.
Yep. I heard the Bahamas are nice this time of year.
Trust me, I know that.
We can wrap this
up. Well, thank you very much. I think it's fabulous, and again, it's creative, and I think it's unique, and I think it fits Geauga County. And I think that's really neat that you're thinking outside of the box, because it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
So. I wish that stuff was around when I was a kid.
You don't know how many adults tell me that. That's for sure.
But, very good. Very
So
good.
then, so if you want to, do we want to make a motion to do the transfer over to community economic development?
Yeah. So it'll go to economic development.
Yeah. There's a further process that happens once it gets to economic development.
Okay. Yep.
Further investigations.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll make the motion.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Talk soon. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything more from you, Christine? Good.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your first second?
Gina, G-I-N-A.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's interesting. Huh? It's pretty cool. Like, I like it. I wish I had something like that, really, like, that I could get to work with. I mean, college was fun, don't get me wrong. I wasted a lot of time. I wasted some time for sure.
You want to see is summary of the application.
As a former homeschooling parent and if you're a school board member, I would have loved to have sponsored a thing like this. It's unique.
Yeah. It's cool.
Love it.
Take away from this.
Okay.
As you recall, last week, we asked you to pass a resolution to move the responsibility for archives from under the Board of Commissioners to under the ADP Board. In the ensuing week, the prosecutor indicated that he felt there were some items that we could have included in that resolution, and of course, in a spirit of cooperation, we want to work with them and be respectful of that. And so we're here today to present the resolution that the prosecutor prepared to do what it is that you want to do with the archives.
Okay. And I read his, red lines or whatever, so I was comfortable with those additions to it. Or
Well, we had a special ADP board meeting yesterday because we had some concerns on our side about whether we could meet the timelines in there in terms of the finances. And the auditor was very cooperative with us.
So the payroll, so they'll back pay?
Everything, the payroll and the leftover contracts and whatever the requirements were to meet the timeframes for getting things paid are going to be taken care of within the constraints of the timelines in the replacement resolution.
Sounds good. I mean, and then as far as those two boards, those will be abolished, or they have been or not?
Once you vote on this,
okay,
it will be done.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, again, I know, this isn't a beach I want to die on, as far as the, just as long as it's done correctly, legally, properly.
And actually, they voted yesterday already to hire all the employees effective January 1st.
Good, and they'll keep their employment status?
Yes, they will be submitting letters of resignation to you guys for their current roles, but they've already been hired.
Okay.
So it'll just be a housekeeping thing.
There's no grace period, I mean, they've been hired.
They have been hired effective January 1st.
It'll be effectively, they'll just be transferred.
Okay.
Going through the legal process.
No interruption.
Correct. That's just a housekeeping thing. Everything will be covered.
Okay. Okay, so move.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Mountains and molehills.
All right. So we have, what's the next here, Christie?
The resolution that we discussed last week
Yep.
to do application amendment.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and.
Article 4, Section 4.2 to the Code of Regulations of NOACA, and this just redesignates the City of Cleveland seat specifically to the mayor.
Okay. Didn't we, I thought we did it.
No, we talked about it, but we actually formally have to do a resolution.
Oh, okay.
We have to formally do a resolution.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spudler?
Yes.
That is what that is.
Okay.
Send that to me.
The next item is dealing with the prosecutor's office and just requesting the board to make official for us from the commissioner's office to ask the prosecutor to review the contracts with Cable Communications and the letter of engagement with Myers, Bellman, Freeburg, and Bliss. Just ask them to review the contracts.
I'm sorry, there's two separate contracts?
There's two separate contracts, yeah.
Okay.
Just two different items.
Okay.
He's requesting the prosecutor's office to review.
And so we have to make a motion to have him review it? Or the office review it?
That's it, well, that's the prosecutor has decided that's what he wants to see. Is an official motion from the Board of County Commissioners authorizing whoever in the commissioner's office is requesting him to review.
So in particular, or is it particular to these, because these here are two separate things?
No, this is his new rule. He holds that he only is the statutory counsel for the board, not for the commissioner's office. so he wants to have the board approve this.
So every contract that comes through, we have to make a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Every contract?
So you've been seeing
Or
them
any-
out there.
any
this is
request.
the-
No, I've seen them, but I just,
Yeah,
Any request?
I thought there was like a specific reason why.
yeah, because he's requiring a motion from you to request him to review the items that we need to have them review
Every time.
every time.
Okay. All right, so move.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes?
Just the-
Aye. Okay, and number 25 is going to be for executive session.
We're discussing the employment and compensation of public employees.
All right. And who's going to Kathy?
Myself
Okay.
and Kathy.
All right, do we have a motion for executive session?
So move.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
Terry.
No, but can I talk to you guys before you leave today? All right, you ready?
Yep. So
Okay.
we're back from executive session with action. Kathy?
Yes, I handed it to Christie.
Sorry, I didn't realize you gave me.
Yeah. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board remove Karen Bucher from paid administrative leave to be effective January 4th, 2024, and place her on unpaid leave for hours not covered by accrued sick and vacation leave.
Okay, so move.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
I have one more item.
Okay.
Several weeks back, there was a request for a liquor license for Basil Place, and the township requested a hearing, and we concurred with the township on that request for a hearing. My understanding is that yesterday, back and forth with prosecutor's office and the Division of Liquor Control and the township, that they have withdrawn their request now for a hearing on their liquor license. So I'm just asking you for a motion as whether or not you concur with withdrawing the request for the hearing. Because if we do not withdraw our request for the hearing, then they will move forward. But
Is this
the
the one in
township-
Bainbridge?
Basil Place.
Oh. Okay,
It's
so
on Bates
move.
Lake.
So move.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And then I can send the response on our behalf as well, so that now we no longer have to have a hearing on it.
Good.
We're no longer objecting, so.
All right.
Any questions or any comments?
I'm sorry, what township was that?
I believe it's
I think it's Munson.
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 Was it? Okay, thank you.
It's called Basil Place, B-A-S-I-L, Basil Place. On Bass Lake.
Anything else?
Happy New Year.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
How do you think 2024 is going to go, gentlemen and ladies?
Off to a good start so far.
Well, we've only had one meeting.
We got Monday.
Well, we come in month, well, past Monday.
Next week on Monday, don't
We'll see what
forget.
happens. Okay, well, again, Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, you do a good job.
All right. So with that, motion to adjourn.
Second.